Hey everybody, it's Krista with Magnolia Ridge Farm and Gardens, and today is September 1st. To me, that is the first day of fall, even though according to our calendar it doesn't start until like September, I don't know, 22nd or something like that. But September to me starts fall. Like, we are already having leaves starting to change, the garden is dying back, and the kids are back in school, and even though it's still hot, we've had a cool down, and it is time to put my mind into full fall mode. We have had the craziest August. All of our garden stuff came in at one time, and so we have just been putting away, pulling honey, doing all the things, and now it's time to get our heads wrapped up in the fall garden and hay season. So we're already cutting hay fields, our fall hay fields. So I wanted to take a quick look around at our gardens and give you a full hot mess garden tour and show you the reality of a neglected August garden. And it wasn't neglected, you know, with intent. Like, I had it nice and cleaned up 3 weeks ago, and then we had a cool down and a lot of rain, and then the heat kicked up and the weeds exploded, especially in the walkways and stuff. So I have got to get in there, reclaim it, get a new section up, pull up a bunch of dying plants, and get to it. So we're going to start up on the porch, and I'm going to show you a mess. We have a wraparound deck on the house, and it's very big, and right now it's full of junk. So as embarrassing as it is, I'm going to show it. This is my pile of cardboard that I have been collecting for a new garden area to put in the bottom of the beds. And it's right outside my back door. I walk by it every day so that I will see it, in hopes that I will get it put down in the garden area, but it has not happened yet. So this is on my to-do list because it has grown to a level that I cannot tolerate anymore, and I hate it. So I am going to get this area cleaned up. Likewise, this is just some plant things left over from spring that I had nice and neat, and then the rain and wind kind of blew it around a little bit, and I haven't cleaned it up. So this is the bucket garden, and I actually have not used this year. I did not plant anything in the bucket garden this spring. I used it last fall, but I have not used it this spring. So the plan for this garden is to actually move it out into the greenhouse for the winter and dig up some of our pepper plants that are now starting to take off now that we no longer have a groundhog problem. And hopefully I can get some yield out of those into the later months after the freeze by having them in the greenhouse. So that is what we are going to do with the bucket garden this year, is move it, because it's a lot easier to move than those, because they get so heavy and you have to dig the soil out, whereas these we can just take, you know, the buckets out, move the frame, put the buckets back in. So we've decided to not put up one of those because we have two more that have not been put together yet. So we are going to move this garden into the greenhouse for the winter and see how we like that. So that's where that's going. And then last up here are these. This one is the one I had beans in, and then I came back in about a month ago and planted some more in spaces that had not come up, but they're not doing that well. So I'm probably just gonna dig all that out, because that's not really worth, you know, trying to work around those few beans. And even a week ago, these squash plants were glorious, and the bugs got them. And as you can see right there, those nasty squash bugs. I hate them, and I am almost at the point that I don't think I'm going to even attempt to grow squash anymore, because they're so bad here and I can't keep control of them. I get 1 to 2 squash off a plant, and they're glorious and beautiful with blooms, and then boom, this happens. So that's like the last leg left of that plant, and it's just covered. And then a few more green bean plants that, again, I had planted over here, and then also my cat has decided this is a great litter box. So I've got to rethink this situation. In the fall, I can put the hoops over it, keep the cats out. This made a great lettuce garden last year. So I'm gonna take a few inches out of the top, get all the cat stuff out, and put some hoop braces on, and probably just keep these things covered. We'll see, but yeah, all of that has to be redone, reclaimed. And then of course my porch planters. Hi guys. Hi boys. I was keeping them nice and watered. Then we got the cool down and the rain, and they were staying watered themselves. And then in the past week and a half, we got the heat and the dry. And so they've I neglected them, and they've kind of bit the bucket. But that's okay, because it's time to put my mums in. And it's time to trim bushes and remulch. So all of that will get cleaned up. That bush will come out, and we'll get the yard mowed, get it looking good again. So that is all on the agenda up here. So let's go take a look at the actual, and we need to close the pool after this weekend and move all the pool furniture up on the deck. So I actually have something to sit on up here now, because it all goes out there for the summer and then comes back here for the fall and winter. So let's go take a look at the garden. Okay, so before we get all the way out to the garden, these are new garden beds that we have bought. And we actually have a couple more that we picked up on the Amazon Prime Day and lightning deals. So we need to get them put together. I think we have one more of the long ones, and then we have like a square galvanized. But those are going to go here. So we had this nice and neat, and I was going to get the black fabric put down and put these beds on top, and then we didn't get the fabric put down, and it took back over. So in fact, I don't know if you can see, but there are black fabric mounds, and then the weeds came up between them in the heavily mulched area, and so that mulch didn't quite work. So I need to rethink that, because those mounds grew nothing for us. They kept dying off. So I think I need to flatten them out and redo the black fabric, and then just come all the way out into this area and try that for a bit. So that is the goal for this, is to still have some in-ground garden, because those are big mounds of compost, and under all that grass is wood chips and mulch. But I need to reclaim that area and then have more raised beds over here. We need to clear out our high tunnel area, because it never got put up, and we need to get that done as well. But that's more of a winter project. That is not on the list for now. So for now, the garden is looking pretty rough. All the gorgeous sunflowers have died off. These maypops, however, are beautiful, and they have fruit on them. Let me see if I can find one. There was a big one right in here, but it's gone now. Oh, here it is. They remind me of kiwi, but they feel squishy. And I looked up, and they are edible. So I need to figure out what to do with them. I know this is like an invasive weed, but I thought the flowers were beautiful, so I just kind of let this one go, and then was shocked to find fruit. And then here's another one with some fruit growing, but I think the flowers are beautiful. So, and I do love all my Zinnias and Marigolds, which all of these were started by seed this year by me. And then my chickens kind of took down a few right there on the outside, but that's okay. I have tomatoes all in here getting ripe, but the plants are dying off. So we're gonna pick while we're in here today. These are the spoon tomatoes, and they have actually done really well. They went nuts. I could not tie them or contain them. They have a mind of their own and are everywhere. My daughter liked them. Sorry, I've got a bucket in my hands. My daughter liked them, but not enough. Like, she didn't enjoy them enough that it makes sense for me to do them again. I might do one. But the wheat, look at this. This is like hip high. It's crazy in a week and a half, because we came in here and weed eated. Like, my husband had this all cleared out, and I had, you know, been weeding the beds. Like, you can see, like, they're clear. And then all that rain came, and this is out of control. Like, I just don't even, I don't know if I've ever had it this bad. Even, I don't know, it's crazy. And then this is where the groundhog was getting in, so he put up wire and blocked it off until we trapped him. And so now I can't really get in my greenhouse unless I go through the back. So I'm gonna get all that cleaned out and open it back up, because it's time to start using it again. Out here are potatoes and sweet potatoes. The groundhog ate all my sweet potato leaves off, and so these thorny bushes kind of took over. But I think we might get some tubers, because there's some like long strands that are growing up the chicken coop. So the plants are still alive, but we'll wait till October and see that. Again, my husband came in here and weed eated all of the pathways and stuff, but they're growing back up. So we've got to get in there, reclaim that, see if we can find some potatoes in there, because they're done. Like, I see some right here, and you can tell they're done. All the blooms are gone, so we need to get in and harvest those. But let's start over here. I did plant some things about 2 weeks ago when all of this was cleared out. And I had planted some rutabagas and some other things, but I don't see any of that coming up. My celery's trying to come back where the groundhog kept eating it off. These weeds are just atrocious, man. But this is real life, y'all. This is real. And I'm not sure what this is. I've got a couple of these, but I can't find any tags. So I want to say it's the Chrysanthemum Melon, and I'm hoping that's what it is. And that might be right. I don't know. I need to look up. Oh, the bugs have got in that one. Pull it off so the plant is not trying to. But yeah, they're doing really good. I have a bunch of them, but I'm not sure what they are. And here's some late cucumbers that have come back, where, again, that pesky groundhog ate the plants off. And then my tomatoes, of course, are doing good. This one's starting to blush, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick it and let it ripen inside, just because. Let's see. So I had planted all in here. I had all of this cleaned out. There's another flower that's about to bloom. I had planted all in here, and I don't really see any of that stuff coming up. Maybe right here. Here's something coming up. So I do have something coming up. There's a little bit more. So I did all that about 3 weeks ago, and that was when all these beds, I had cleaned them out, and this was all weed eated, and now it is a jungle. So let me get in here and get the tomatoes all picked. See, here's another one of those chrysanthemum melons, but this plant is dying. I don't know why. There's some more carrots I need to get. Look at this tomato. It's just now taking off. Isn't that weird? So, all right. These are my pepper plants that I thought were gone for good because of the groundhog. But look, I have little baby peppers. I even have some decent sized ones. So considering how small the plants are, I'm super excited. And I'm hoping I can dig these up since they are small and put them in the greenhouse. So here's another glorious thing, is all of these eggplants are amazing. I have never had that many eggplants before. The basil is phenomenal. I need to harvest a bunch of it and dehydrate it. I don't see any tomatoes here. I was so excited. I have tried for 3 years to get a Pajari melon, and this one was beautiful, and the bugs have found the plant in the past 2 days. I was just out here picking tomatoes 2 days ago, and this was gorgeous. The plant was gorgeous, and those stupid squash bugs have attacked it. So I guess my watermelons are next, but I had finally gotten one Pajari melon and now it's gone. The basil out here smells phenomenal. I have it everywhere. I have gomphrena. And then here are my melons that are still doing good. That one looks like it's starting to dry. And then that one back there, the end looks like it's drying. Oh, there's a big one down here. These are, I'm not sure, like Ben Kobe or something. More basil, another watermelon. There's a few on that one, but that's where the Pajari melon is that is now dead, so I'm afraid those bugs are gonna get over here. And I didn't even put any squash out here. So there's not much. So here's a good, you can see the mounds, and they're in between. Oh, this grass and weeds is atrocious. I think squash bugs and weeds is my biggest enemy here. And this garden was so beautiful. I have some pretty blue beauties right here, but that plant is looking pretty rough. That one never did anything. Oh man. I have to admit, it's hard coming out here because I actually do like a neat and orderly garden. And this one got away so fast. It's very overwhelming, and I need to get control of it, and I need to get fall planted. And it's very overwhelming. It's like, where do I even start? I don't want to start. I know where I'm going to start, and that's getting the push mower in here and push mowing these aisleways, because you can't even walk in here, and then getting the sunflowers out and any dead tomato plants out just to make it look a little better. And then I will start planting in the open areas that are still weed free, just so I can feel accomplished. And sometimes that's what you need. You need a win. So I think that will be my win if I can get that done. But for now, my win is getting in here and harvesting tomatoes. I do it about every other day. That's why it's baffling how fast this just goes out of control. But my win for today is that I got 6 pints of bruschetta in a jar canned, which I think I'm up to like 20 jars or something of that. I love making it. And I got my beets and carrots parboiled and ready to dehydrate and freeze. And I got more tomatoes. I got a whole basket of tomatoes out of my garden. They will ripen on the counter, and I will be able to can more things. So that is my win for today, and I'm gonna take it. What are your fall plans? Where's your garden at for fall? We still have 2 full months before a frost. So we should have plenty of time to get some things established that are frost hardy. I won't be planting anything that is not frost hardy at this point. So, what's your win for today, and where are you at for your fall? Because this is my fall garden. I have a lot more homesteading fall things, but I'm also hitting another busy season at work. So spring and fall are my busy seasons. So April, May to the middle of June, and well, late March to the middle of June, end of June, and then September, October, November are insane for me, and I have to conquer all this during that. So let's count all of our small wins, guys. We can do this. Keep going. Until the next video. Thanks for joining me.